Well, hello, friends. It's Mindy Odlin, and welcome to What If Wednesday. We come together this time of day, every Wednesday, to see you through the week and to share some hope and some inspiration. And today is just for those of you, especially for those of you who maybe might be just a little bit of a perfectionist, maybe like me. And how do you know you're a perfectionist? If you have people in your life who know you and love you, who keep telling you things like, it doesn't need to be perfect, then this What If Wednesday possibility brainstorm is for you. So today's What If Wednesday ideas are spawned by the fact that today is a very big day. So first of all, happy solstice, everybody. Today is about stepping into more and more light. It is officially National Look on the Bright Side Day. So what if we look on the bright side today as we move into more and more daylight? So happy solstice. And it's also our launch day for our new online community and our new app. So you can have the What If Up Club on your phone. I'm calling it our What If app so that we can connect and come to events and meet people and network and all these things right here on your phone, and all within our own self-contained ecosystem. So very, very excited about this launch. And in the midst of it, I'm having my friends, my family, my loved ones telling me over and over again, like I'm getting the hint. People are telling me, Mindy, this launch doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm like, what? Who, me? You think I think it needs to be perfect? So this is for those of you who maybe have a hard time embracing your imperfections. What if imperfections are actually perfect? What if we embrace them and love them? And what if the things that maybe aren't 100% there yet, what if those are the things that they bring us closer together? What if that is our authenticity, our humanity? And what if we give each other and ourselves some grace in the midst of what we are creating? So I brought a few things to share with you in terms of how do you know if this is for you, if you are one of those perfectionists, because I can tell you for me, first hint, as I mentioned before, is when people start telling you things like it doesn't have to be perfect, that is your hint number one. And that lets you know that maybe you've got a little bit of a perfectionist edge to you. So as a perfectionist myself, when I hear people say, hey, Mindy, it doesn't have to be perfect, in my head, you know where I go? I go to, well, of course it doesn't. It's never perfect. So you'll know you're a perfectionist if you feel like nothing you've ever created in your life has ever been perfect. Like it's never good enough. If you've got that kind of mental chatter, I'm right there with you. And what if we could allow ourselves to just honor that part of ourselves that wants to do the best we can and offer ourselves some grace at the same time? So what if we gift each other with and gift ourselves with that grace? Second thing is, you will know you're a perfectionist if and that maybe that perfectionism isn't working for you. So this is kind of what I'm calling like the toxic perfectionist. So you've probably heard the analogy of when you're planning your day that you want to like figure out what's the most important thing to accomplish in this day. And I've heard the metaphor of, if you have a bucket and you've got a bunch of rocks, what's the big rock? What's the thing that you really need to get into that bucket, and to put that into the bucket first so that you know that it fits. Otherwise, if you've got all these little things that you're throwing in the bucket, then when it's time to put in the thing that matters most, it doesn't fit. So if you are one of those people like me, I like to spend time. I have fun decorating the little rocks in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like the little details. I actually enjoy, I enjoy polishing things up. I enjoy making things like really shine. That brings me great pleasure in doing things really, really well, even if I can't do as many things. But what the sacrifice is, and where it can become a little toxic, is when the things that matter most don't end up in the bucket. So what if we focus on the big rock first, and then give ourselves all the time that we want to fill in around it with all those little rocks? So perfectionists among us, what if we focus on one thing a day that is the big rock? And what if we complete that, even if it isn't decorated and perfect? So thank you for watching, and thanks for tuning in. Yes, put that thing in your bucket. So thanks for your comments. And I love being here with you live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And we also have a YouTube community, so we can banter with each other throughout the week there as well. Okay, so here's my third tip for you. First is just notice if you're one of those perfectionists. People will tell you, so that if you have any doubt, you will know. Second, put your big rock in first, and then you can decorate it and do whatever you want with all the little rocks. And third is to give yourself the same grace that you give to others. And I'll share, Thanksgiving comes to mind for me because, we always put this, like, all this pressure on the Thanksgiving meal has to be so perfect. And one of the things I love, we got to go back to Texas this year, where I'm from, and visit my parents. And one of the things that I love about Thanksgiving is this happened like several years in a row, where my mother would be, preparing everything to come out at just the right time. You have to time everything to be ready at just the right time. And we had maybe, I don't know, 3 Thanksgivings in a row where she would inevitably get everything on the table, and then she would forget that she had rolls in the oven. And we would, from the dining room, we would be able to smell the burning rolls. So burnt dinner rolls sort of became, it was so perfectly imperfect. It was so perfect that not everything was perfect. And so I teased my mom, and when the rolls came out perfect this year, I was a little disappointed because I love that things don't always go exactly to plan, and that we love each other anyway. And what if we could give ourselves the same grace? So this is an opportunity for those of you that are perfectionists to think about how you might be for someone that you truly love. If they didn't have everything absolutely perfect, you would love it. I think about we had one Thanksgiving when we were living in Colorado. We used to go into the forest. You could buy these tags and you could go cut your own tree in Colorado. And one year we got lost. We went to cut the tree, finally found a tree, and then we got lost coming home, and it was dark and it was snowy, and we ended up in a town we didn't know, and it was Thanksgiving, and the only place that was open for dinner was McDonald's. And that McDonald's Thanksgiving dinner is one of our favorite, most cherished family memories. So what if it really is perfect when things don't go exactly to plan? And I like to remind people, the book that I wrote is called What If It All Goes Right? It isn't called What If It All Goes to Plan. So I share all this because I have been, for the past couple months, preparing for this day, preparing for a transition into our new online community, our new app that is now available. And I share that because we are part of a beta testing group for this technology that is available through our web hoster. So it's not perfect. And the things that I found that are not perfect have not been fixed. And it's a little buggy, which there's a part of me that's just cringing because this thing it doesn't have all the bugs worked out yet. But it is that day, and this is my big rock, and I am putting this big rock in the bucket, and I am reaching out to this community with love and hopes that you will enjoy the evolution of what we are creating together as much as I do. And, there's a book that as a perfectionist, oh my gosh, I love the book Good to Great. Jim Collins wrote this book called Good to Great. And in it, one of the things he said is that good is the enemy of great. Sometimes when things get good, we're like, okay, that's good enough. And we stop innovating, and we stop ideating, and we stop trying to make things better. But if you're a perfectionist, like maybe someone we know, if you're a perfectionist, sometimes great is the enemy to good. And if that's happening for you, I find that happens to me sometimes. Sometimes the desire to launch something great keeps us from launching something good and evolving it into something that is great. So if great and the idea that something has to be perfect and it has to be all figured out before you release it, if that is keeping you from doing the good that you are called to do, if it's keeping you from launching that business or writing that book or taking that next step forward on that thing that's been calling to you, then what if the first goal is to get to the good? What if the first goal is to get to where you're taking that idea that you have within you and putting it out into the world? And then as you see how good it is and all the good that it's doing, then what if we level it up and take it to great? So if great is an enemy to your good, then this is a call to you, my friend, and to me, to put it out there, as messy as it may be, as imperfect as it may be, as buggy as it may be. What if we put it out there into this community that is safe, that is encouraging, that is positive, knowing that there's good to be done. And we're heading into a new year where I know you've got dreams and desires and things you want to create. I want to create them with you. January 1st, we're having a workshop. Join me online. It's a free thing. It's going to stream right here through Facebook, through YouTube. And we're going to put those visions onto paper in a way where we can not only hold the vision ourselves, but share the vision with others. So lots of exciting things coming for the new year. Tonight is our open house. So for those of you in our What If Up Club, you'll be getting reminders. You'll be getting the Wednesday updates with a link that'll take you in there. 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Open house. We'll do a little solstice celebration. We'll do some networking and connecting. I would love to show you around so that you can see how the new community works. Join us if you can. And if you're not in the What If Up Club, you can join very easily at whatifup.org. And we'd love to have you in there as well. And you can be part of the evolution and growth of what we're creating, launching into this new year. So thank you so much for joining. Love seeing you every Wednesday here on What If Wednesday. For those of you perfectionists, and you know who you are, right? And if you don't, your friends will tell you. What if you give yourself some grace? What if you embrace the perfection of that which is imperfect? Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.